The darkest season of my life made me richer than I ever expected. There was once a man who believed his life was over, not because he was dying, not because he had lost everything, but because he had lost himself. Every morning felt heavy. Every task felt difficult. The future looked gray. The things that once excited him no longer mattered. His friends told him to cheer up. His family told him to stay positive, but neither understood the battle happening inside his mind. He felt trapped, alone, exhausted, and worst of all, hopeless. For months he waited for motivation to return. For months he waited for inspiration. For months he waited for life to improve. Nothing happened. Then one evening, while sitting alone in silence, he realized something that changed his life forever. His pain was not leaving, so he had two choices. He could allow it to destroy him, or he could put it to work. That night became a turning point, not because he suddenly felt better, because he stopped waiting to feel better. Most people misunderstand successful people. They imagine confidence came first. They imagine discipline came first. They imagine success came first. But often, the truth is much darker. Many successful people were driven by heartbreak, rejection, loneliness, failure, humiliation. Pain became fuel. The man realized something. He was spending hours every day suffering, hours worrying, hours overthinking, hours imagining worst-case scenarios. What if those hours could be redirected? What if the same energy used for despair could be invested into building? So he made a decision. Whenever pain arrived, he would create. Whenever anxiety arrived, he would learn. Whenever loneliness arrived, he would build. At first, it felt impossible. His mind resisted. His emotions fought back. The results were invisible. But he continued. 1 hour, then another, then another. A strange thing began happening. His circumstances hadn't changed, but his relationship with his pain had. Instead of seeing pain as an enemy, he began seeing pain as a messenger. Pain was telling him something. Something in his life needed attention. Something needed to change. And so he listened. Stoic philosophers taught that adversity reveals character. Anyone can remain calm when life is easy. Anyone can feel strong when everything works out. But hardship reveals who you truly are. The man stopped asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and started asking, "What can this teach me?" That single question transformed everything, because every painful experience contains a lesson. Every setback contains information. Every disappointment contains wisdom. The people who rise are not those who avoid suffering. They are those who extract value from it. Months passed. The man began learning new skills, reading books, studying successful people, creating content, building projects, working after work, working before work. Not because he always felt motivated, but because he understood something most people never learn. Feelings are temporary. Actions create futures. One day he realized he was no longer the same person. The sadness hadn't magically disappeared, but it no longer controlled him. His purpose had become stronger than his pain. And purpose changes everything. A man with no purpose is easily defeated. A man with purpose becomes difficult to stop. The Japanese call it ikigai. Your reason for waking up, your reason for continuing, your reason for enduring difficult seasons.
Without purpose, suffering feels meaningless. With purpose, suffering becomes part of the journey. Years later, the man's life looked completely different. He had built businesses, created opportunities, developed skills, earned money. But the greatest reward wasn't financial. The greatest reward was discovering that he was stronger than he ever imagined. The very season that almost broke him had built him. Now listen carefully. Many people watching this are waiting to feel confident, waiting to feel happy, waiting to feel motivated, waiting for the perfect moment. But life rarely changes that way. You do not wait for the storm to end before learning to sail. You learn to sail during the storm. What if your current struggle contains the foundation of your future success? What if your loneliness could become focus? What if your frustration could become discipline? What if your disappointment could become ambition? What if your pain could become fuel? The energy already exists. The question is where it will go. Will it go into worry or growth? Will it go into excuses or action? Will it go into resentment or creation? Machiavelli understood that difficult times reveal hidden strengths. Pressure exposes weakness, but it also creates resilience. Steel is forged through heat, not comfort. Diamonds form under pressure, not ease. And people are often the same. The strongest version of you may be waiting on the other side of this struggle, but only if you continue moving forward. Only if you refuse to surrender. Only if you decide that your pain will serve you rather than rule you. Remember this. You do not have to become successful overnight. You do not need millions of dollars. You do not need fame. You simply need to take today's pain and invest it into today's progress. One page, one workout, one video, one skill, one step, then another, then another. Over time, those small actions compound, and one day you wake up and realize something remarkable. The thing that once threatened to destroy you became the reason you transformed. If this message spoke to you, subscribe and join the Inner Circle. Every day we explore wisdom, resilience, and the mindset needed to transform struggle into strength. Until the next lesson, do not waste your pain. Learn from it, grow through it, and let it become the fuel that drives you toward a better future.